The basement door slammed shut. Jamal's heart hammered against his ribs. He pressed his back against the cold concrete wall, one hand covering the woman's mouth. Her blood soaked through his shirt. Warm. Sticky. Real. Above them, heavy boots pounded the alley pavement. Flashlight beams sliced through the grimy window. Voices barked orders he couldn't make out. His daughter was asleep upstairs. 9 years old. Alone. The woman's eyes locked onto his in the darkness, wide, terrified, pleading. She tried to speak against his palm. He shook his head. Not yet. Not yet. The footsteps stopped, right outside his door. Jamal had made thousands of choices in his 38 years. Most of them are forced by poverty, desperation, or both. But 15 minutes ago, when he opened this basement door for a bleeding stranger being hunted by armed men, he'd made a choice that would change everything. He just didn't know it yet. But 12 hours earlier, Jamal's biggest worry was whether his daughter would have to switch schools again. The alarm screamed at 6:15 a.m. Jamal's hand shot out from under the thin blanket, slapping the ancient clock radio into silence. He lay there for 10 seconds, eyes closed, gathering strength for another day. The ceiling had a new water stain. Brown and spreading. He'd have to tell the landlord. Again. He sat up slowly. His back ached. Always did after the night shift. The mattress was 15 years old, springs poking through in 3 places. He'd gotten used to sleeping around them. On the nightstand sat a single framed photo. Keisha, smiling in her Sunday dress, the yellow one she loved. 3 years gone, but the grief still ambushed him some mornings. Lupus had taken her slow. Watching her fade, month by month, had been the hardest thing he'd ever done. "Morning, baby," he whispered to the photo. The apartment smelled like mildew and his neighbor's cigarettes. The bass from next door thumped through walls so thin he could hear conversations. He'd stopped complaining. Complaints got you evicted. Mia's door was covered in crayon drawings, rainbows, flowers, a house with a big yard and a swing set. Our future home, written in her careful 3rd-grade handwriting. He knocked softly. "Mia, baby, time to get up." She emerged, rubbing her eyes, braids messy from sleep. "Morning, Daddy." "Morning, sunshine. Let's pick out your uniform." Her closet held 3 sets. One had a stain he couldn't get out. One had a tear in the sleeve. The third was the good one, relatively speaking. She put it on without complaint. Never complained. That killed him more than anything. In the kitchen, he poured powdered milk into a bowl of generic cereal. The box was almost empty. He'd have to stretch it until Friday's paycheck. Mia sat at the wobbly table, swinging her legs. She pulled out a crumpled permission slip. "Daddy, the field trip is next week. To the Science Museum." His stomach dropped. He knew what was coming. "It's $15. Can we—" "We'll see, baby." The words tasted like ash. "Let Daddy check the budget, okay?" She nodded. Didn't push. She'd learned not to. He had $47 until Friday. Rent was 3 days late. The electric bill had a red final notice stamp. $15 might as well be 15,000. They ate in silence. He watched her count the cereal pieces, making them last. 9 years old and already rationing food. What kind of father let that happen? After breakfast, they walked to the bus stop. His '98 Honda had died 2 months ago. The mechanic said $850 to fix it. He'd laughed, not because it was funny. The morning was cold. Mia's jacket was too small, sleeves stopping above her wrists. He made a mental note. Winter coat. Add it to the impossible list. She chattered as they walked, her breath making little clouds. "Mrs. Rodriguez says I'm doing really good in science. She says I might win the volcano competition." "That's my girl." He squeezed her hand. You're gonna do amazing things, Mia. I know it. At the school gate, Mrs. Rodriguez waved him over. Jamal's defenses went up immediately. Mr. Reed, can I have a quick word? Mia ran off to join her friends. Jamal stayed at the fence. Mia's been falling asleep in class, Mrs. Rodriguez said gently. Is everything all right at home? Pride locked his jaw. Everything's fine. She stays up working on her projects. Mrs. Rodriguez's eyes said she didn't believe him. If you need resources, we have programs. We're good. Thank you. He turned before she could push. The walk to his first job took 30 minutes. City Trust Financial Tower. 73 floors of glass and steel where millionaires made more money in an hour than Jamal made in a year. He entered through the service entrance. Badge scan. Time clock punch. 7:45 a.m. The break room smelled like burnt coffee. His co-worker Deshaun was already suited up. Yo, Jay, you see the posting? What posting? Supervisor position. $4 raise. Benefits upgrade. Jamal's heart jumped. $4 an hour. That was real money. What's the catch? High school diploma required. The hope died fast. Oh. Deshaun's face fell. Man, I forgot. You never... It's cool. Jamal grabbed his cleaning cart. Wasn't meant to be. He'd dropped out senior year when Keisha got her diagnosis. Someone had to work full-time. Someone had to pay the medical bills. High school could wait. Except it couldn't. And now he was 38, cleaning toilets for $11 an hour. The executive floors were the worst. He mopped around desks worth more than his car had been, emptied trash cans full of barely touched catered lunches. On the 42nd floor, someone had left a sandwich. Turkey and avocado on artisan bread, wrapped in plastic. Barely one bite taken. Jamal stared at it. His stomach growled. He hadn't eaten breakfast. He grabbed it, shoved it in his supply bag, ate it in the utility closet, standing up, hating himself. At 2:30 p.m., his phone buzzed. Landlord. Voicemail. Mr. Reed, rent is now 4 days late. I'll be filing eviction paperwork Monday if we don't receive payment. This is your final warning. Jamal leaned against the mop bucket, closed his eyes, breathed. He picked up Mia at 4 o'clock from the free after-school program. They split a $5 pizza, 2 slices each. She didn't ask for more. That night, he read her a library book about a girl who found magic. Mia fell asleep before the ending, her hand in his. He sat on her bed, watching her breathe. She looked so peaceful, so innocent. I'm trying, baby girl, he whispered. I promise I'm trying. He kissed her forehead. At 9:45 p.m., he headed out for his night shift at the medical clinic, his 3rd job this week. But what he didn't know was that in less than 2 hours, everything would change. But when the glass shattered at 11:47 p.m., Jamal faced a choice that would test everything he believed about right and wrong. The medical clinic was empty by 10:30 p.m. Just Jamal and the hum of fluorescent lights. He mopped hallways, emptied trash, wiped down examination rooms, routine, mindless. Outside, rain started, scattered drops at first, then harder, sheets of water blurring the streetlights. The radio crackled a weather warning, flash flood watch, severe thunderstorm. By 11:30, he was done, 20 minutes early. Exhaustion pulled at him. 4 hours of sleep in 2 days. He clocked out, pulled his hood up, stepped into the rain. The streets were empty. Water rushed along gutters. Thunder rolled. He kept his head down, hands in pockets, invisible. 3 blocks from his duplex, he heard it. Tires screeching, metal crunching, breaking glass. At the intersection ahead, a black SUV had T-boned a sedan. Steam rose from both engines. The sedan's passenger door hung open. A woman stumbled out. Blonde, maybe 40. Torn blazer, white blouse, dark stains down her side, Blood. She clutched her ribs, limping, one hand pressed to her temple. Blood ran between her fingers. The SUV's doors opened. 3 men emerged. Tactical gear, black vests, cargo pants, boots, not police uniforms. One shouted, "Stop! Federal matter! Stop or we'll shoot!" The woman ran, a stumbling sprint favoring her left leg. She cut toward the residential blocks, toward Jamal's street. The men followed. Fast. Professional. Weapons drawn. Jamal was 50 feet away, shadows and rain. They hadn't seen him. Every instinct screamed, "Walk away! You have Mia upstairs. You cannot get involved." He turned toward his duplex, took 3 steps. The woman crashed past a dumpster. Her foot caught something. She went down hard. That's when she saw him. Their eyes met. She mouthed one word, "Please." Jamal frozen. The men were 30 feet behind her, 25, 20. His hand went to his pocket, felt Keisha's hospital bracelet through the fabric. 3 years he'd kept it. In the ER, when Keisha was dying, a nurse had held her hand. A stranger. Whispered, "You're safe now." Someone had shown his wife mercy when she was helpless. The woman looked at him the way Keisha must have looked at that nurse. She came this way. 15 feet now. Jamal moved. He ran to his basement door, the exterior entrance, rusted and forgotten. His hands shook. The padlock stuck. Rain made everything slippery. It clicked. The door swung open. He grabbed the woman's arm. "Get in! Now!" She half-crawled down the concrete steps. Jamal followed, pulling the door shut. He threw the bolt just as footsteps pounded above. Pitch darkness. Her breathing. Ragged. Wet. Painful. The smell of copper and rain and fear. His heart hammered. Above them, the footsteps stopped. "She came this way! Check the buildings!" Flashlight beams swept the basement window. Jamal pressed against the wall, one hand covering the woman's mouth. They held their breath. A boot kicked metal in the alley. More footsteps, circling. Someone tried Jamal's back door upstairs. The knob rattled, locked. The woman trembled. Her blood soaked through his shirt. Then he heard it. Mia's small voice from above. "Daddy?" She'd woken up. Jamal's blood turned to ice. If she came downstairs, if the men heard a child... Outside, a radio crackled. "Command, target lost in residential zone. Request backup." "Someone's home. I hear movement." Jamal's phone buzzed. Deshaun. "You good, bro?" He called Deshaun, loud enough to carry. "Yeah, Deshaun?" "Nah, man, I just got home." Power flickered. A storm knocked something over. "Yeah, it's bad. See you tomorrow." He hung up, yelled toward the ceiling. "It's okay, baby. Daddy's checking the breaker. Go back to bed." Silence. Then Mia's footsteps retreating. The men outside went quiet. "Just a guy with his kid," one said. "Target wouldn't hide here, too risky." The footsteps moved away, fading, gone. Jamal didn't move for 3 minutes. Neither did the woman. When he exhaled, it shook. The woman's hand found his in the darkness, squeezed. "Thank you," she whispered. He didn't respond. What had he just done? For the next 40 minutes, Jamal would have to use every ounce of street smarts just to keep them both alive. He waited in the darkness, counting seconds, listening. The rain hammered the alley above. No footsteps, no voices, just water and thunder. His hand was still over the woman's mouth. She tapped his wrist twice. He removed it slowly. "Are they gone?" Her voice barely a whisper. "Don't know. Don't move." The basement was concrete and shadows. Exposed pipes ran along the ceiling. The furnace hummed in the corner. It smelled like mold and rust, and now blood. Lots of blood. Jamal's eyes adjusted. Gray light filtered through the grimy window, enough to see her face, gash above her left eyebrow, deep, still bleeding. Her blazer hung torn at the shoulder, dark stains spread across her ribs. "You're hurt bad." "I know." She tried to sit up, gasped, grabbed her side. "Ribs broken?" "Maybe." Jamal looked at his hands, covered in her blood, his shirt soaked through. "I need to stop the bleeding." He pulled off his jacket, then his shirt, an old Hornets tee, ripped it down the middle. "This is gonna hurt." "Just do it." He pressed the fabric against her forehead. She bit down hard, jaw clenched, didn't scream. He wrapped the makeshift bandage, tied it tight. Blood soaked through immediately, but slower now. "Your side. Let me see." She lifted her blazer. Her blouse was shredded. Long gash across her ribs. Not deep enough to be fatal, deep enough to need stitches. He used the rest of his shirt. Pressure. Direct pressure. She trembled. Shock, maybe. Or cold. Probably both. "What's your name?" Keep her talking. Keep her conscious. "Sarah." "I'm Jamal. Sarah, you gotta stay with me." "I understand." "Who are those men?" "People who want me dead." "That ain't an answer." "It's the only one I can give you right now." Outside, an engine rumbled past. They both froze. It kept going. Jamal's phone buzzed. Text from Mia. "Daddy, where are you?" His stomach dropped. He typed back with bloody fingers. "Fixing the breaker, baby. Stay in your room. Love you. 3 dots. Then, love you too." Sarah watched him. "You have a daughter." "Yeah." "How old?" 9. "I'm sorry I brought this to your home." "Sorry." He checked the bandages, still bleeding but manageable. "You need a hospital." "I go to a hospital, I'm dead. They have people everywhere." "Who's they?" "People who don't want me to testify tomorrow." Jamal stared at her. "Testify? Are you a witness?" "Something like that." He noticed her wrist. Faint scar. Old. Looked like a bullet graze. "You a cop?" She hesitated. "I work in law enforcement, high level." "And you end up bleeding in my basement." "Lucky me." Thunder cracked. The lights flickered. If the power went out, the men might come back. The lights held. He sat back against the wall, exhausted, terrified. "Why'd you help me?" Sarah asked. "Don't know. Stupid, probably. Most people would have walked away." "Most people ain't been where I've been." "Where's that?" "Helpless. Desperate. Needing someone to give a damn." He looked at her. "My wife died 3 years ago. Hospital. She was scared. And some nurse held her hand. Stayed with her." Sarah's expression softened. "So when someone needs help, you help." They sat in silence. The rain eased to a steady drum. At 1:30 a.m., Jamal risked going upstairs, crept through his kitchen, grabbed the first aid kit, bottle of vodka, clean towels. He paused at Mia's door, heard her breathing, deep, asleep. Back in the basement, he cleaned Sarah's wounds properly, poured vodka over the gash. She bit down on a rag. Tears streamed, but she didn't make a sound. "You military?" "Was. Long time ago." That explained the scar. The controlled breathing under pain. He wrapped her ribs with gauze, taped her forehead. "You should have been a medic," she said. "There should have been a lot of things." By 3 a.m. she was stable, color returning, breathing easier. Jamal dozed against the wall, jerked awake every few minutes, listening for engines, footsteps, doors breaking. Nothing came. At 4:30, pre-dawn gray crept through the window. The rain had stopped. Sarah sat up slowly, still hurt but functional. "I need to make a call." He handed her his phone. 1 bar. She dialed, waited, spoke quietly. Package secure. Location compromised. Need extraction. Protocol 7. Paused. Listened. Understood. 30 minutes. Hung up. They're coming for you? Yes. You'll never see me again after this. At 6 o'clock a.m., Mia's alarm went off upstairs. I gotta get her ready, Jamal said. You stay here. Don't move. Don't make noise. Jamal, just don't. Please. He went upstairs, put on his normal face, made breakfast, powdered milk, generic cereal. Mia noticed the bandage on his hand. Daddy, you okay? Just scraped it fixing the door, baby. You look tired. Long night at work. But I'm good. He walked her to the bus stop. Every car that passed made him flinch. At the school gate, he kissed her forehead. I love you, baby girl. Love you too, Daddy. The walk home felt like miles, adrenaline crash hitting hard. When he opened the basement door, Sarah was standing. Barely, but standing. A car pulled up outside. Black sedan. 2 men in dark suits emerged. Military precision. Sarah visibly relaxed. My people. These weren't hunters. These were protectors. The men knocked. Professional. Controlled. Jamal let them in. They assessed Sarah quickly. One spoke into a radio. Target secure. Sarah looked at Jamal. What you did tonight? Most people wouldn't. Had to? No. You chose to. There's a difference. She pulled out her wallet. $300. Take it. I didn't do it for money. I know. But you have a daughter. For her. Pride said refuse. Reality said take it. He took 100. Just this. Sarah wrote something on a business card. Her personal number. Simple design. Just a name and digits. No title. She pressed it into his palm. If you ever need anything, you call me. I mean it. He pocketed it. Doubted he'd ever use it. The men helped her up the stairs. She paused at the door. Looked back. You're a good man, Jamal Reed. The world needs more of you. Then she was gone. Into the sedan. It pulled away. Jamal stood in his basement. Alone. Blood-stained towels at his feet. $100 in his hand. Did that just happen? He spent an hour scrubbing blood, hiding evidence. When it was clean, he sat on the concrete steps. Put his head in his hands. He'd come so close to disaster. Mia could have been orphaned. But also, there was warmth. Strange and unfamiliar. He'd done something right. He looked at the business card. Sarah Pemberton. And a number. He had no idea who she really was. But when she reached into her torn jacket pocket, Jamal realized his simple act of mercy had connected him to someone far more powerful than he'd imagined. The $100 sat on his kitchen table, crumpled, stained with dried blood at the corner. Jamal stared at it. He'd promised himself he wouldn't take money. That wasn't why he'd helped. But $15 for Mia's field trip, the electric bill, the rent. He folded it carefully, put it in his wallet next to Keisha's hospital bracelet. His phone buzzed. Deshaun. Bro, you good? You look like hell. Work. His day shift at City Trust started in an hour. He texted back, rough night. Be there soon. In the bathroom mirror, he looked like a ghost. Dark circles, bloodshot eyes, hands still shaking. He showered, scrubbed the blood from under his fingernails, changed into clean clothes, put a bandage on his cut hand under a work glove. Normal. He had to look normal. At work, Deshaun pulled him aside. Man, what happened to you? Couldn't sleep. Storm kept me up. You sure? Yeah, I'm good. But he wasn't. Every time someone walked past, he flinched. Every door opening made his heart jump. The business card burned in his pocket. Sarah Pemberton. He pulled it out during lunch, studied it. Simple white card, her name in plain black text. A phone number. Then he noticed something. Held it up to the light. A tiny embossed seal at the bottom. Official looking. Government, maybe. He turned it over. She'd written in neat handwriting, "Call any time. I mean it." Who was she really? That evening, he picked up Mia from school. She ran to him, waving a paper. "Daddy, look, I got an A!" He hugged her tight, too tight. "Daddy, you're squishing me." "Sorry, baby, just proud of you." At home, he made spaghetti, used the 100 to buy real sauce, garlic bread. Mia's eyes went wide. "Is it someone's birthday?" "Nah, just felt like treating my girl." She devoured 2 helpings. He watched her, memorizing her smile. Last night, he could have lost her. He pushed the thought away. After dinner, she did homework. He sat on the couch, exhausted but unable to sleep. The card was on the coffee table. "Daddy, who's Sarah Pemberton?" He jerked. "What?" Mia pointed at the card. "That name. Is she your friend?" "Just someone I helped. At work." "Oh." She went back to her math. Jamal picked up the card again, typed the name into his phone, hit search, pages of results, but none matched. Generic profiles, different people, nothing about law enforcement. Strange. Everyone had a digital footprint now, unless you were someone who needed to stay hidden. He tried adding law enforcement to the search. Still nothing. "Daddy, can you help me with number 7? He put his phone down, helped her with fractions, read her a bedtime story, tucked her in. "Daddy?" "Yeah, baby." "Why were those men outside last night?" His blood went cold. "What men?" "I heard voices. In the alley. Were they bad guys?" He sat on her bed, chose his words carefully. "Just some people looking for someone. They left. Everything's okay now." "You promise?" "I promise." She hugged her stuffed bear, closed her eyes. He sat there until she fell asleep. In his room, he lay in bed, stared at the ceiling. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. His heart stopped. He opened the message. "Thank you, again. You saved my life. The offer stands. Anything you need. Sarah." She had his number, from when she'd used his phone. He typed back. "Glad you're safe. Take care." 3 dots appeared. Then, "You too, Jamal. You too." He set the phone down. Sleep wouldn't come. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw flashlights, heard footsteps, felt blood on his hands. But he'd done it. Kept them both alive. And somehow, impossibly, he had a feeling this wasn't over. Over the next 3 days, Jamal started noticing things that didn't quite add up. Day 1. Thursday evening. Jamal sat at his kitchen table after Mia went to bed. The business card lay in front of him. He studied the embossed seal again. Small. Easy to miss, but definitely there. He pulled out his phone, searched for government agency seals, scrolled through images. State Police, FBI, DEA, Department of Justice. None matched exactly. But the style was similar. Official. Why would someone in law enforcement have no online presence? He typed her name again. Sarah Pemberton, Law Enforcement. Nothing. Something felt off. Day 2, Friday afternoon. Jamal was mopping the executive floor at City Trust when the break room TV caught his attention. Local news. Volume is low. The anchor's face was serious. Breaking news banner. State Attorney General Sarah Pemberton survived an assassination attempt 3 nights ago. Details remain classified, but sources say an internal investigation is underway. Jamal dropped the mop. The handle clattered, water spread across the tiles. On screen, they showed her photo. Official portrait. Older, more formal, but the same face. State Attorney General, the top law enforcement officer in the entire state. "You okay, man?" Deshaun called. Jamal couldn't speak. "Jay, you good?" "Yeah, just slipped." He picked up the mop. His hands shook. State Attorney General. He hadn't just saved some cop. He'd saved one of the most powerful people in the government. That night at dinner, Mia noticed. "Daddy, you're quiet." "Just tired, baby." After she went to bed, he stared at the card. Sarah Pemberton, State Attorney General, and she'd given him her personal number. Day 3, Saturday morning. Jamal walked Mia to the corner store. On the way back, he noticed a car, black sedan, tinted windows, parked across from his duplex. Different from the one that picked up Sarah, but similar. He slowed, watched it. The engine was running. "Daddy, come on." Mia tugged his hand. Inside, he locked the door, went to the window, peered through the blinds. The car was still there. At 3 p.m., he checked. Different car, gray SUV, same spot. At 7 p.m., another one, white sedan. Always one car, always watching. His phone rang. Unknown number. "Mr. Reed?" A woman's voice, professional. "Who's this?" "A friend of Sarah's, just checking in, making sure you're okay." "I'm fine." "Good. If you notice anything unusual, call the number on the card." She hung up. Jamal's chest tightened. They were watching him, protecting him, or making sure he stayed quiet. He looked at the card, at Sarah's handwritten note. His finger hovered over the call button, but pride stopped him. He didn't need help. He'd made it this far alone. He put the card in his wallet. That night, the school email came. Field trip payment due Monday. $15. He checked his bank account. $3.47, the 100 from Sarah was gone. Rent, electric, groceries. He sat in the dark kitchen, card in one hand, phone in the other. Should he call? But what happened next would prove that Sarah Pemberton never forgot the man who risked everything for her. Monday evening, 6 p.m. Jamal stood at the stove, stirring spaghetti sauce. Again, 3rd time this week. Mia sat at the table, unusually quiet. He knew why. The field trip permission slip lay between them. Unsigned. Unpaid. "Daddy?" "Yeah, baby?" "It's okay. About the museum. I don't really want to go anyway." The lie broke his heart. "Mia?" "Really? It's fine." She went back to her homework. He watched her shoulders slump. This was it. The moment he hated most. Disappointing his daughter. Again. A knock at the door. Jamal froze. His hand went instinctively to his pocket. The card. "Stay here," he told Mia. He checked the peephole. A woman. Business suit. Badge visible on her belt. His heart sank. They found me. He opened the door, chain still on. "Mr. Reed?" The woman smiled. Professional. Warm. "I'm Agent Torres, FBI. May I come in?" "I didn't do nothing wrong." "You're not in trouble. The Attorney General sent me." Jamal looked back at Mia. She was watching, curious. He unhooked the chain. Let Torres in. She carried a manila envelope. Large. Official-looking. "Ms. Pemberton wanted me to personally deliver this." She handed it to him. Heavy paper. State seal embossed on the flap. Jamal's hands shook as he opened it. Inside, a letter, typed on official letterhead. He read, "Dear Jamal, I've spent 3 days trying to find the right words. Thank you seems insufficient for someone who hid me from assassins, treated my wounds, and asked for nothing in return. I've investigated you, not as law enforcement, but as someone who wants to understand the kind of man who still believes in helping strangers. I know about Keisha. I know about Mia. I know about the 3 jobs and the eviction notices and the broken car. I know you're drowning, and you still threw me a lifeline. I cannot publicly acknowledge what you did. The investigation is ongoing, and your anonymity protects you. But I can honor your sacrifice privately. Enclosed is not a reward. It's an investment in what I saw that night. A good father, a brave man, and someone who deserves a chance to stop merely surviving and start living." With gratitude, Sarah Pemberton Jamal looked up. "What?" Agent Torres reached into the envelope, pulled out a check. Jamal's eyes went wide. $50,000. $50,000. He couldn't breathe. That was more money than he'd made in 2 years, combined. "There's more," Torres said. She pulled out a folder, opened it. "Ms. Pemberton has also arranged the following, contingent on your acceptance." She read from the document. 1. Full GED scholarship plus testing fees covered. Jamal's throat tightened. The diploma he'd never gotten. The door that had been closed for 20 years. 2. Paid apprenticeship with the State Building Maintenance Division. $28 per hour. Union benefits. Health care for you and Mia. $28 an hour. Union. Benefits. Health care. He sat down hard. His legs wouldn't hold him. 3. Housing Assistance Program, Priority Placement. You'll be eligible for subsidized housing in a better school district. Stable. Safe. A better district. Safe. For Mia. 4. One-time trust fund for Mia's education. $25,000. Managed account for her future. College, trade school, whatever she chooses. Jamal put his head in his hands. His shoulders shook. "Daddy?" Mia's voice, small, scared. "Why are you crying?" He looked up, wiped his eyes. "Good tears, baby. Really good tears." Torres handed him the folder. "She pulled strings. You start Monday if you want it." Jamal stared at the check. The documents, the official seals. This wasn't just money. This was a complete life reset. Everything he'd been fighting for, everything he'd promised Keisha, everything he'd dreamed for Mia, right here, in his hands. "There's one condition," Torres said. Jamal tensed. "Here it comes. The catch. You never speak publicly about what happened that night. Ever. Not to media, not to friends, not even to family beyond Mia when she's old enough to understand. The people who tried to kill Ms. Pemberton, some are still out there. Your anonymity keeps you both safe." Jamal exhaled. "That's it? Keep my mouth shut?" Torres nodded. Done. He didn't need to think, didn't need to pray on it. This was the answer. The miracle. "Do you accept?" "Yes." His voice cracked. "Yes, I accept." Torres smiled, extended her hand. "Welcome to your new life, Mr. Reed." After she left, Jamal sat on the couch, check in hand, documents spread on the coffee table. Mia climbed beside him. "Is that a lot of money?" "It's enough to change our lives, baby." "Because you helped that lady?" "Yeah." "You did good, Daddy." He pulled her close, kissed the top of her head. "We're gonna be okay now. I promise." She hugged him tight. Jamal closed his eyes, thought about that night. The terror, the blood, the impossible choice. He'd thought he was just keeping someone alive. Had no idea he was changing his own destiny. Sarah's last words echoed, "You're a good man." The world needs more of you. Maybe she was right. Maybe the world did remember people like him. He looked at the check again. $50,000. For the first time in 3 years, since Keisha died, since the bills piled up, since hope became a luxury. For the first time, Jamal Reed believed in tomorrow. But accepting Sarah's offer meant confronting years of internalized doubt. Could someone like Jamal really deserve this second chance? That night, Jamal couldn't sleep. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The check was in his wallet. Downstairs. Locked in a drawer. $50,000. He kept thinking he'd wake up. That it was a dream. A cruel joke. At 3 a.m., he crept downstairs, pulled out the drawer, opened his wallet. Still there. Real paper. Real ink. Real numbers. He sat at the kitchen table until dawn. At 6 a.m., he walked to the bank. Waited outside until they opened at 9. The teller looked at the check, looked at him, looked at the check again. "Sir, I need to verify this with my manager." Jamal's stomach dropped. They think it's fake. The manager came, studied the check, made a phone call, came back smiling. "Mr. Reed, this will take 2-3 business days to clear, but it's legitimate." Jamal exhaled. "Thank you." He left the bank. Stood on the sidewalk. People rushed past, cars honked. Normal Tuesday morning, but nothing was normal anymore. His phone buzzed. Reminder. Rent due today. $850. He pulled up the landlord's number. Called. "Mr. Reed, I was just about to... I'm paying. Today. 6 months in advance." Silence. 6 months? "Yes, sir. I'll have it for you by 3 p.m. "Well, that's excellent. Thank you." Jamal hung up. Smiled. First time in months. Over the next 48 hours, he paid everything. Rent. 6 months. The landlord nearly fell over. Electric bill. Cleared. No more red notices. Gas. Water. All caught up. He took Mia to the grocery store. Real grocery store, not the dollar store. "Pick what you want, baby." "Really?" "Really." She walked the aisles like it was Disneyland. Fresh strawberries, real milk, name-brand cereal, chicken breasts, vegetables. At checkout, the total was $147. He didn't even blink. Mia cried in the parking lot. Happy tears. "Daddy, we got so much food." "I know, baby, I know." That night, they ate chicken, broccoli, and rice. She had 2 helpings. He watched her eat, really eat, without rationing. Thursday morning, the check cleared. Balance, $50,003.47. He stared at the number. Had to sit down. Friday, he took the Honda to the mechanic. "Can you fix it?" The mechanic wiped his hands. "Yeah, $850 for the full repair." "Do it." "You sure? That's a lot." "I'm sure." Saturday afternoon, he picked up the Honda. It started smoothly. No rattling, no smoke. He drove Mia to the park. She squealed. "Our car works again." "Yeah, baby. It does." They spent the afternoon on swings. He pushed her higher than ever. Her laughter echoed across the playground. For the first time in years, he felt like a real father. Monday morning came fast. Jamal reported to State Building Maintenance HQ downtown. Big building, official. He wore his best pants, a button-up shirt Keisha had bought him years ago, polished shoes. The receptionist smiled. "Mr. Reed, welcome. Mr. Hendricks is expecting you." Hendricks was the supervisor. Big guy. Firm handshake, kind eyes. "Reed, good to meet you. The Attorney General herself vouched for you. Jamal stayed quiet, remembering his promise. You come highly recommended. Let's get you set up. They issued him a uniform. Work boots, new, steel toe, tool belt, ID badge with his photo. You'll be working HVAC, electrical, plumbing, union protections, breaks every 4 hours, benefits kick in after 30 days. Union protections, benefits, respect. Jamal almost cried right there. The crew welcomed him. Diverse, working class, men and women who'd fought their way up. Heard you got skills, one guy said. Marcus. Let's see 'em. Jamal showed them. 20 years of fixing things in poverty taught you to be creative. By lunch, they were impressed. By the end of shift, they were calling him Jay. 2 weeks later, his first paycheck arrived. $1,960 after taxes, more than he'd made in a month across 3 jobs. He sat in the locker room, stared at the pay stub, cried. Deshawn found him. Yo, you good? Yeah, man, this is real, you know? I know, bro, I know. Healthcare kicked in. He scheduled appointments for Mia, dentist, first time in 2 years. 3 cavities, but they caught them early. Eye exam. She needed glasses. Slight astigmatism. They picked out purple frames. She loved them. General physical. Doctor said she was healthy. Growing well. Just needed consistent nutrition. She's a strong kid, Mr. Reed. You're doing great. Jamal wanted to tell him. I wasn't, but I am now. At night, he started GED classes. Community center. Free program. But Sarah's scholarship covered books and materials. Math was hard. He was rusty. Algebra felt like a foreign language. But Mia helped. Come on, Daddy, you got this. Hi. She made flashcards. Quizzed him at dinner. Other students were there too. Single moms. Ex-cons trying to turn lives around. Immigrants building new futures. They studied together, shared stories, supported each other. One night, Jamal struggled with a practice test, got frustrated, threw his pencil. I'm too old for this. Too tired. This isn't for people like me. Mia found him at the kitchen table, head in his hands. Daddy. He looked up. Remember what you tell me? We're Reeds. We don't quit. He pulled her into a hug. You're right, baby. We don't quit. 6 weeks after that night in the basement, housing assistants called. Mr. Reed, we have a placement. Lincoln Park District, 2-bedroom. Better schools. Available immediately. Lincoln Park. Safe, clean, good schools. Yes, absolutely yes. Moving day was chaos. Deshawn helped. So did Marcus from work. They loaded the U-Haul, packed boxes, lifted furniture. Jamal stood in the old duplex one last time. The basement door was closed. He stared at it. That's where it happened. Where everything changed. Where he'd made an impossible choice in the dark. He locked the door, walked away. At the new apartment, Mia ran through every room. Daddy, I have my own closet, and the walls don't have holes, and I can't hear the neighbors. She hugged him tight. Jamal leaned against the wall, slid down, sat on the floor. He'd done it. They'd made it. But Jamal's transformation didn't stop with his own family. He became living proof that kindness creates ripples. 3 months later, Jamal sat in the testing center, pencil in hand, last page of the GED exam. He'd studied every night for 12 weeks, Mia quizzing him. Practice tests, videos at midnight. This was it. He bubbled in the final answer, set down his pencil, exhaled. 2 weeks after that, the results came. Passed. High scores. High enough to qualify for community college. He called Mia from work. She screamed so loud, he had to pull the phone away. That weekend, they framed it. His GED diploma. Mia's honor roll certificate. He hung them side by side in the living room. "Look at us," he said. "The Reed family." At work, Hendricks pulled him aside. "Reed, we're impressed. Perfect attendance, solid skills, outstanding work ethic." "Thank you, sir." "We want to train you for junior supervisor. Leadership track, $4 raise, January starts." Jamal blinked. "Supervisor? Interested?" "Yes, absolutely." That night, he told Mia. She tackled him with a hug. At her new school, everything changed. Better funding, art program, music, after-school clubs. She joined the choir, soprano. Her teacher said she had a gift. Parent-teacher conferences were different too. Ms. Liu smiled. "Mia's thriving, engaged, energetic, making friends. You're doing something right, Mr. Reed." "Just trying my best." "Well, it shows." Physical changes came. Jamal gained 15 pounds. Healthy weight, regular meals, less stress. He slept better. 1 job instead of 3. Actual rest. His face looked younger. The exhaustion lines faded. Neighbors noticed. "You always seem so happy," Mrs. Patterson said. "Just grateful." One Friday in November, Jamal bought extra lunch, 2 sandwiches. Outside the state building, a homeless man sat against the wall. Sign, veteran. Anything helps. Jamal recognized something in his eyes, that same defeated look. He handed him the sandwich. "Here, brother." The man looked up, surprised. "Thank you." "What's your name?" "Eddie." Jamal sat beside him. "I'm Jamal. Are you a vet?" "Marines. 2 tours. Came back." Eddie gestured vaguely. "Lost everything." "Are you getting help? VA benefits?" "The system's complicated. Don't know how." "I'll help you." Eddie stared. "Why?" "Because somebody helped me once. Just passing it on." Over the next month, Jamal became Eddie's advocate, helped him navigate VA paperwork, made calls, walked him through applications. 6 weeks later, Eddie got transitional housing, started treatment. He found Jamal at work, clean-shaven, clear-eyed. "Man, I'm in, getting help, because of you." "Nah, brother, you did the work. I just pointed the way." Eddie hugged him. "You saved my life." Jamal thought about Sarah, about that night. "Someone saved mine, too." Word spread at work. Jamal was the guy who helped. When Marcus's cousin needed job references, Jamal made calls. When a co-worker faced eviction, Jamal connected him with resources. When a new hire, young kid, 19, scared, looked lost, Jamal mentored him. "You belong here," Jamal told him. "Don't let anybody make you feel different." The union rep noticed. "Reed, you ever think about organizing? We need people like you." "Maybe. Let me get my supervisor role first." "We're watching you, in a good way." At Mia's school, Jamal started volunteering, chaperoned field trips, helped at the science fair. Other parents started conversations. "Your daughter's wonderful," one mother said. "Thank you, she's my world." "And you're here for every event." "My husband never shows." "I got a second chance. Trying not to waste it." The neighborhood noticed too. His building had problems: broken mailboxes, leaky pipes, spotty heat. Jamal organized a tenants association. 15 people. We approached the landlord together. "We're not asking for much, just basic dignity." The landlord, faced with united tenants, agreed to repairs. Within a month, everything was fixed. Mrs. Patterson hugged him. "You did this. We did it. Together." In December, Lincoln Park Community Center received an anonymous donation. $10,000 for after-school programs. Jamal suspected it was Sarah, investing in the community that had sheltered her. He never asked, but he was grateful. One evening, walking home, Jamal passed a shop window. He stopped, looked at his reflection. The man staring back was different. Still him, but stronger, confident, purposeful. He wasn't just surviving anymore. He was living and helping others do the same. And then, 18 months after that terrifying night, Jamal received one more surprise. Tuesday afternoon, late spring, warm sun through the office windows. Jamal was reviewing maintenance schedules, junior supervisor now, small team, good men. The receptionist called. "Mr. Reed, you have a visitor, says it's important." He walked to the lobby, and there she was, Sarah Pemberton, no longer bleeding, no longer terrified, poised, powerful, tailored suit. "Ms. Pemberton." "Hello, Jamal. Can we talk? Privately." They found an empty conference room. She looked healthier. The scar above her eyebrow is barely visible. "The investigation's closed," she said. 15 arrests, 3 state senators, deputy commissioner. Corruption ring dismantled. Jamal nodded. He'd seen the news. "I can finally acknowledge what you did." "You already did more than enough. I wanted to see for myself. How are you doing?" She looked at him. "You look good. Happy?" "I am. Mia is. We're okay. More than okay, I hear. Supervisor, GED, helping others." He smiled. "Word travels. I keep tabs. You're exactly who I thought you were that night." "And what's that?" "Someone who makes the world better just by being in it." They sat in comfortable silence. "You know," Sarah said, "I think about that night often. I was used to people fearing me, using me, betraying me, and then a stranger, someone with every reason to turn away, chose to protect me." She paused. "It reminded me why I do this job." "Do you ever regret trusting me?" "Never. Not once." They stood, shook hands. "If you ever need anything—" "I know. I have your card." She smiled. "Good." At the door, she turned back. "Keep being you, Jamal." 1 year later. Jamal was at a community food drive, boxing canned goods. He saw movement near the donation table. A teenager, maybe 16, black kid, thin, nervous. The kid slipped granola bars into his jacket. Jamal's first instinct, chase him, report him. He thought about that night, about Sarah, about Eddie, about every person who'd helped him. Different choice. He followed the kid outside, caught up half a block away. "Hey!" The kid spun, defensive. "Man, I don't want trouble." "I'm not in trouble. Are you hungry?" "What? You hungry?" The kid's shoulders dropped. "Yeah." Jamal gestured to the diner across the street. "Come on." They sat. Jamal ordered burgers, fries, shakes. The kid devoured his food. "What's your name?" Jamal asked. "Dante." "I'm Jamal. How old?" 16. "Where are you staying?" "Around?" "Nowhere." Jamal knew. "Listen, Dante. I've been where you are. Close enough. And I'm here to tell you, you got potential. You just need someone to believe in you." Dante looked up, suspicious, but listening. Jamal pulled out his business card, wrote his number on the back. "This is where I work. You need help. References, connections, someone to talk to, you call me." Dante took the card, studied it. "Why are you helping me?" "Because someone helped me once, and she taught me something." "What?" "That kindness doesn't end. It keeps going, person to person, like a chain." Dante pocketed the card, mumbled thanks, left. Jamal didn't know if he'd call, didn't know if it would make a difference. but he'd planted a seed, just like Sarah had planted one in him. He paid the check, walked outside. The sun was setting, orange and gold. Jamal looked at the sky, thought about Keisha, about that nurse, about Sarah bleeding in his basement, about every moment that led him here. He smiled. The chain continued. People ask me sometimes if I'd do it again. Risk everything for a stranger. The answer's always yes. Because that one choice, that one moment of deciding someone else's life mattered, it didn't just save her. It saved me. It saved Mia. And now, I get to save others. You never know when your kindness will change a life. Could be the person you help. Could be your own. Could be someone you'll never meet, down the line. The world tries to teach us to look away, to stay safe, to protect our own. But there's another way, a better way. Be the person who stops, who helps, who risks. Be the reason someone believes in humanity again. So I want to ask you, have you ever helped a stranger when it was hard? When does it cost you something? Share your story in the comments below. And if this story moved you, share it. Someone out there needs to hear it today. Maybe you'll inspire the next Jamal. Like this video if you believe kindness matters. Subscribe for more stories that restore your faith in people. And share this, because the chain continues with you.
At Black Voices Uncut, we don't polish away the pain or water down the message. We tell it like it is because the truth deserves nothing less. If today's story spoke to you, click like, join the conversation in the comments, and subscribe so you'll be here for the next Uncut Voice.